In this evening's news, Ministry of Health and Wellness reports 5 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, taking the total of infected persons to 534. Jamaican ship workers aboard the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas disembark the vessel for testing. Still tonight, one of the cruise ship workers from the MARELLA Discovery 2, in quarantine since May 6, is seeking answers from the government after receiving news that he tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, one day before being scheduled to go home to his family. And the government announces that 12,265 Jamaicans that applied to the Set Cash program will receive their payments this weekend. Good evening, and now the news in detail. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported that Jamaica has recorded 5 new cases of the coronavirus COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, taking the total of infected persons to 534. The ministry says that the 5 new cases are comprised of 3 males and 2 females. 2 cases are from Kingston and St. Andrew. 1 case is from Portland, 1 is from St. Mary, and another case whose address is being ascertained. In the meanwhile, 10 additional Jamaicans have recovered from COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered persons to 181. In news from Falmouth, ship workers aboard the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas cruise liner that is docked at the Falmouth Pier in Trelawney began disembarking the vessel this afternoon. The Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas arrived at the Falmouth Pier in Trelawney on Tuesday. Now, Prime Minister Andrew Holness stated that the disembarking process would commence today and that the ship's workers would be disembarking in batches of 200 every 48 to 72 hours. The Port Authority of Jamaica will be supervising the disembarking process, where each ship worker will be tested by representatives from the Ministry of Health. Up to late this afternoon, more than 100 of the 200 workers slated to disembark had already been tested and were being prepared to be transported to the quarantine area at the Grand Bahia Principe Hotel in St. Anne, where they will be quarantined for a period of 14 days. Now, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Matthew Samuda, who was on hand to observe the first batch of 200 ship workers disembarking, stated that the process moved smoothly. Mr. Holness said it may take up to 3 days for the samples to return, and once a sample is negative, that individual will be allowed to complete the other 14 days at home. But if it returns positive, the individual will be required to remain in state isolation until they have been cleared by the health authorities. Meanwhile, one of the cruise ship workers from the MARELLA Discovery 2 that has been in quarantine since his return to the country on May 6 is seeking answers from the government after receiving news that he tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, one day before being scheduled to go home to his family. In an exclusive interview with our news team earlier today, the cruise ship worker said that he is confused about why he is now testing positive for the virus after previous tests showed that he was not.
Then the final test, they do one before I go home, which is the 19th. When I'm supposed to go home the 20th, they do one the 19th. And then they told me that yesterday, there was the 20th, that they told me that I positive, that's when I'm supposed to go home. Overall, I'm telling you honestly, it's a really breakdown for me right now, breaking down, because to being at sea for so long, couldn't get to come home, finally get to come home, in quarantine for 14 days, and then know that all of a sudden, all of this has happened, that they said I've tested positive. And then I don't know how long I'm going to be here again in quarantine again, till not can get to go home to see my family and my loved ones. So I'm really breakdown. Yesterday when I heard the news, I could do nothing more than cry. Unless I cry last night and I pray and ask God to take me through this, because it's not really easy to hear something like this. I can't even tell my mom this. I can't even tell her, because I know how she will feel. She will faint. Because this thing is just very, complicated to us. We don't know, if everything was happening as planned as day one from the Kingston when we're supposed to come off. If he did just accept us, I know everybody would be fine, because everybody that disembarked this ship, MARELLA discovered too, every different other nationality, they reach home quite safe and sound, and nobody gets this virus. Every different nationality, Honduran, Jamaican, Ukraine, Philippines, everybody that I talk to that I know from this country, all they do is 3 days quarantine or some do 1 week, and they're back home with their family, and nobody have catch this virus. Nobody, everybody from the cruise ship I know as a crew member in those nationalities, no one catch this virus. Why we?
Now, the cruise ship worker expressed that he was aboard the ship for 2 months without the virus. Now he is being told he has coronavirus without being shown any written document.
And they said us test positive. We get no papers, we get no approvals. We said, okay, yes, we test positive. Nothing come up to us. We just taking word of mouth that said, okay, we test positive with COVID and they're going to transfer us to a different facility. That's all. So I think, yes, he should do so. These things, that's what I'm also worried and thinking about. Nobody said, they just give a word of mouth, said, okay, we test positive, but we get no identification, say, okay, we test positive. No? So that's why I'm trying to see what the government can do about this, because we need to dig further into this thing, what is taking place, because we're on the ship for almost 2 months, call it 50 days. We've been on the ship, we didn't have no cases, nobody was sick, no symptom, nothing. Then we leave the ship, we came here, we didn't have no symptoms, because they test us when we came, we test negative. So now I want to know, where in the last when we're supposed to go home, the day we're supposed to go home, they find us positive. And the guy that they found positive is from the MARELLA Discovery too. Why the ship and other people were there from other fleet with the same company? So why it's only from the MARELLA Discovery too? Why everybody they test positive on the day when they're supposed to go home is from the MARELLA Discovery too? So those things I think about, and I try not to think about it, because, I don't want to put too much on my head. So that's why I said I need to talk to the media, because the media need to know what is going on between this ship and us from that time until now. I don't know what is taking place, what is going on. I think we need an answer. So I think, yes, we should.
He also described his experience on the flight home from the United Kingdom.
We have to wear masks and gloves, but they didn't do social distance. The plane has sets of 3 in 1 row. So in each row, 3 persons sit down beside each other. So there was no social distance in the plane. And during that time on the plane, people, they give us a little snack to eat. So, traveling in for so much hours, somebody that must need to drink some water. If I need to move them out to drink a cup of water, a glass of water, or a bottle of water, or something. So, during that time, and as I say, there's no social distance. Yeah, nobody has separated us. Nobody, they just seat us, give us a seat, and then everybody just take a seat beside whoever it is. Nobody did separate this ship or that, or whoever they take, because they take some people from the land also. Because I remember I see some people in the wheelchair. They were also on the ship. So they didn't separate anybody. Everybody was seated as though they placed it on the plane. So that's where I said the government and whosoever made this arrangement for us to come, they do something wrong there, because we were there all along on the ship. Came here negative with us, nothing wrong with us, and all of a sudden since we came here, during that time, they say we contract the virus. And I have no symptom, nothing at all I have. My temperature is alright. The nurse tested me last night when I just came to Bahia. She tested me this morning and she said your temperature is fine.
He says he wants the government to explain the test results and the length of time he will have to remain in quarantine before getting the opportunity to reunite with his family that's very concerned about him. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. In news from Hanover, the Hanover Municipal Corporation, in collaboration with various councillors in the parish, conducted a massive cleanup of sections of the coastline in preparation for the hurricane season, while securing a space for recreational purposes for use after the country fully recovers from the COVID-19 outbreak. Mayor of Lucy, Councillor Sheridan said that the decision was taken by the council and other representatives in order to safeguard the town from flooding.
In meeting with discussion, we decided that we are going to clean the coastline leading into the town for different reasons. It was a sore eye, and the next thing is that the coastline was so full of stuff that the water within the town itself, the drains, take a very long time to clear when rain fall. We are entering into the hurricane season, and we ensure that we ask the Roads and Works Department to get it done now before the rain start to fall. This green space, as the council had mentioned, we didn't even know that we have so much space here. The town is lacking of green space for recreation. We want to turn this area into a mini park, just like the parks that you have in Ocho-Rios, Montego Bay. Hanover is no less than those other parishes and towns. Lucy is no less a town than those towns. So we have to ensure that we get it together. I want to use the opportunity also to thank the Rotary Club for the role that they have played in keeping this green area clean, well bushed and everything. It is costing us a whole lot of money coming out of the COVID, the impact that the COVID work that we have done, the prevention of COVID within the parish take a lot out of our coffers. But we see the need to continue doing the work. Wherever we can squeeze the funds, we are going to squeeze it, because the responsibility of the town is not solely rest on the councillor, but on both of us. And our intention is to work in harmony.
Councillor for the Riverside Division, Darren Barnes, said that this is a milestone for the parish as the space has the potential to be developed as a recreational area.
Well, today we are here at this venue out by Seawall, an area where is so much sore point to the citizen of Hanover. We know that we are look at this area where people been talking about over the years. Now if you can look, you can see where the debris we have started some work within the town here, and this is a milestone for us. We know it's really costly, but with the level of help coming from the ministry, we're doing our part, along with the Road and Works Department. And this area, when we look at it at this time now, we see where we can have it as a recreational area, where kids can come out on a Sunday evening and enjoy themselves. And also the elders, because at first we didn't even know that there was so much area within this space. And at this time we are trying our best to put everything in place so we can get it as how we want it to be in a recreational area, so that everyone can enjoy here during the time. And now we are approaching the hurricane season, and this area is where the development of flooding started from. So we're trying our best now to keep it clean, keep the drain clean, so that we have no flooding within this town. And on the help from the mayor, the council of Lucy, we are putting our hands on deck. Don't matter the color, we're working together to get this town to where we want it to be.
Now, Councillor for the Lucy Division, Easton Edwards, echoed the same sentiments as Councillor Barnes, adding that the project is a joint effort with a goal of safeguarding the space for the people of Lucy.
We have been looking at this parcel of land, and to my surprise, I didn't even know that we had so much land here. And after cleanup, after having discussion with the mayor, we decided that we are going to look at this parcel of land, and even him did not even know that there was so much land here. And what I am seeing here is a gold mine for the community of Lucy, and by extension the parish. We have some serious plans for the space. We are going to be setting up a mini park where families can come and enjoy themselves. What we find out in these towns is that we are missing green space. And we did not know that we had so much of that here, wasting. We just walk the coastline, and trust me, when I look at the shells, Hanover is a special place. And we want to thank the organizer, the mayor, the municipal corporation for this initiative.
The Compliance and Enforcement Manager at the Hanover Municipal Corporation, Craig Oates, added that it's good to see that through good leadership, the town can be safeguarded from flooding.
As a Hanoverian first, it is good to see that with good leadership from the mayor of Lucy, Mr. Sheridan Samuels, Mr. Eastern Edwards, Council for Lucy Division, Mr. Darren Barnes, Council for the Riverside Division, and the Hanover Municipal Corporation, that they have now identified a green space in the town. And in this green space, what you will have, you're going to be having recreation area. You're going to have, but apart from that, the serious issue of flooding that the town always have. Where you find out now that they are cleaning the drains, the plan. The municipal corporation short of funds, but they are cleaning, the intention is to clean the drain, go all the way there. So when it rains, the water quickly drains from where it is. And this work here is being spearheaded by the Road and Works Department and the Hanover Municipal Corporation.
Meanwhile, Mayor of Lucy, Sheridan Samuels, is urging churches and community bar owners in the parish to adhere to the safety regulations put in place by the government to safeguard the community from COVID-19 in light of the 2-week reopening order. More on this story with our Mello TV reporter, Brianna Chambers.
Mayor of Lucy, Sheridan Samuels, is urging churches and community bar owners in the parish to adhere to the safety regulations put in place by the government to safeguard them from COVID-19 in light of the 2-week reopening order. In speaking with our news team, Mayor Samuels said, if persons in the parish continue to adhere to these regulations, the parish will remain COVID-19 free.
I can say to you that I'm in total agreement with it. That is the one, just to start out. But what I want to ensure that persons, there are some guidelines that are laid out in terms, because you know the COVID-19 is on us. We are at zero. We are COVID-free in Hanover, and we want to maintain that. But not only in Hanover, but in Jamaica. We want to get this demon behind us. We don't want it to stay with us. So I'm going to plea, I'm going to charge the bar owners, the community bars and taverns that are given the opportunity to open now to just follow the guidelines. Guidelines of social distancing. You know that within the bar you only can have 5 persons inside here. Bartender, ensure that you wear your mask and have this face thing to protect you also. No playing of dominoes, no table games. We want to, but what is important is for you to put up your washstand and ensure that persons use it very often. Because you know when people are under their spirit, they tend to want to lose sight of what they are supposed to do. I'm pleading to you to ensure that you get this and get this done.
Mayor Samuels also said that the municipality dispatched a team in communities conducting inspections of bars.
Presently, we have a team out there doing inspections of bars to ensure that they are following the guidelines, the compliance. We presently team with the SDC. We have 20 workers now out there that we are charged from the ministry to employ to get the work done, along with our compliance team and enforcement team within the parish. The officers of SDC, they are there also presently on the road. We split the parish into geographical areas according to division, while SDC is doing it according to the development area. So we have 3 compliance officers that are out there of geography, split it in 3 in that area for the work to be done, while the SDC have a team going around giving them instruction and reminding them as to what they are looking for.
Mayor Samuel says the reason Hanover does not have any case of COVID-19 is as a result of the municipal corporation and its councillors having made the necessary preparations.
So don't listen to this foolish argument about strong. We were well prepared, as you know. we were prepared and proactive. We as councillors, CEO, we met and we take a stand that we have to put certain things in place before even guidelines came out from the government. We were there to do our work. So it's not about we not having any stoplight or because we are back of bush, why we are free. We are free because of the hard work. Presently, our coffers at the municipal corporation is gone way down in terms of the expenditures that we have placed in fighting this. So as a result of that, we are on a drive now to see how best we can collect. We are asking persons who don't pay their property tax yet to go out there and pay. We are asking the advertisement company that are advertising to just pay up. We know that you already collected from the persons who you are advertising for. So just come and pay our portion to us for us to, keep on going. We cannot do it without your help. We are asking persons within the market space, vendors, we are asking you to come and register and don't let what happen in terms of getting the stimulus assistance from the government to catch you again. We are asking barbers and hairdressers to come in and do your licensing.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Brianna Chambers.
Thank you, Brianna. Still making Mello TV news, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, is notifying the public that the voters list scheduled for publication on May 31 will be delayed until July 30 due to the continued impact of the novel coronavirus COVID-19. They say that electors added to the new list can expect to collect their voters' ID cards by mid-August. The EOJ added that the sittings for the individuals seeking to be added to the voters list who received summons to appear before the returning officer for his or her constituency are now set for June 9, 10, and 11. Persons who fail to attend the sitting will not be added to the July voters list. Still making Mello TV news, the National Water Commission, NWC, says major water restrictions are coming for the corporate area customers due to a lack of rainfall over the last few months. The restrictions will see customers receiving water for 12 hours each day. NWC, in a statement yesterday, said the areas to be affected are served by its Constant Spring Treatment Plant. It said the reintroduction of the restrictions follows ongoing monitoring of the water supply systems in a bid to provide regular service at prescribed pressures during the supply times. The NWC says the lack of rainfall has resulted in a significant reduction in inflows to the plant, and although May is a traditionally rainy month, the state-owned company says the inflows for this month have been less than the average volumes in comparison to previous years. The company says if this trend continues, the NWC is expecting that the storage levels will be further depleted, hence the need for restrictions at this time. The restrictions will see areas above the West Kings House Road intersection served from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Areas below the West Kings House Road intersection will be served at night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. In other news tonight, the Transport Authority is warning wrecker companies that are charging higher than the approved wrecker fees for towing vehicles seized by the authority to immediately stop this practice. The authority says it has received a number of complaints from customers that some wrecker companies have been attempting to charge higher than the approved rates. Where this has been proven, the wrecker companies have been directed to charge the prescribed fees. However, the authority says going forward, where wrecker companies charge higher than the approved fees and continue to violate the rights of the customers, these companies will be suspended from lifting vehicles seized by the authority. Meanwhile, the authority says the approved wrecker fees are as follows. For towing under a 5-kilometer radius, it is $8,000 for motor vehicles and $15,000 for coasters and highest buses. Distances under the 5-kilometer radius attract a flat rate of $4,000. no-key towing is $3,000 for all vehicles. Customers who believe they have been charged excessive record fees can contact the Transport Authority toll-free at 1-888-991-5687 from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, or WhatsApp details to 876-551-8196. Still making news tonight, Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck has announced that he will be tabling a motion in Parliament next week that will seek to complete a parliamentary review of the operations of the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM. Mr. Chuck stated that the INDECOM bill that was passed in 2010, repealing the Police Public Complaints Act, provided for the establishment of INDECOM to undertake investigations and prosecutions concerning improper actions of members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, and other agents of the state that results in the death or injury to individuals or abuse of their rights as a person. His opinion was supported by opposition spokesman on finance, Mark Golding. And those were some of the stories making news. I'll return with other updates as the government announces that 12,265 Jamaicans that applied to the Sent Cash program will receive their payments this weekend. We'll now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.